Welcome to Rauta's review time. This time we have a band which is putting together both stuff from the old school and the modern age. This one is called Spirit Adrift and Curse of Conception. So what we have here is a pretty looking digipack with a nice little bit of sinister image with kind of a cold colors, if you know what I mean. This kind of creature of faith in the middle and some sort of almost like Arctic vibe on the colors, especially when it comes to the use of blue and all that. So pretty nice feeling on that. On the back side we have the lineup and track listing. These guys are something to be taken seriously. So what we have inside is that again more on the band as well as the CD, and inside we have the booklet. So as you can see, this is a booklet. We have nice promo holes here. So lyrics, not else but lyrics, and that is all we have except for the last couple of pages here. We chose more the band, more the cover, and that's what Curse of Conception is basically all about. Now, one would think it's easy to create totally successful heavy metal when you have, good production, and more important than that, you have a talented vocalist that can do real good heavy vocals, can do high, and has that kind of sound that makes your pants tremble. Well, I wish it was that easy anyway, because Spirit Adrift is kind of a proof that nothing is as easy as it seems, and creating even a little bit of goodiness with that kind of elements isn't, a given thing. So what we have here is kind of a heavy metal mixed with kind of a retro-ish vibes, but like I said, the production is very much this day, and by this day I mean it's not like those typical retro bands which have kind of like a really old school sound, and sometimes it's way too weak for the guitar riffs and bass lines and all that stuff on the album, not to mention mixing and overall vibe of the album. But this one actually has a pretty strong and solid sound. The guitars are pretty heavy, bass is clearly there with on its own, you can clearly make it out from the rest of the instruments, and the drums are doing their job just fine. And like I said, the Mr. Vocalist is totally capable with having his lyrics delivered as they are meant to be in heavy metal, not putting you in the little box where Black Little Shrieks have very little space to move, in a sense of what kind of stuff you're going to use, or death metal or that. But you have highs and lows and all that stuff. You have able to use your melodic skills and all that wonderful stuff that we have in heavy metal. So that's not the problem here, which is yet again a way too common problem with all kind of doom and heavy metal bands. But this band is on the opposite, because the actual problem here is the lack of good riffs and the composition of songs. So what we have here is basically a lot of potential to be big, have these major melodies, the kind of grasping moments when you're just clenching your fist and you're like biting your lip, because all the elements are just so groundbreaking, strong and stuff. But here we have a bunch of weakness that isn't going anywhere despite the strong production and good vocalist and all that. What really strikes me down is the fact that these songs are not only really mediocre, but they are kind of boring as well. So even though they are not like horrible in the sense that I want to just shoot myself rather than listening to this album kind of proves the meaning of good riffs, the kind of a like composition when, you know, the guitar player is like, hey, I'm totally with you on the same page, and you know, we can totally do it. But meanwhile, this sounds like, I don't know why these guys in the band, nor do I for myself, and all that stuff. So it seems like all this production and all this use of the vocalist is just, you know, down the drain. And when I mention the vocalist, I also want to say that it's clear that the potential of this very singer is not, used as much as it could. It seems like the whole band is kind of like keeping there a little bit of like, let's not, hit the second gear yet. Maybe we just do it slow and all that stuff. And then the album ends, and you're like, well, these guys had like many songs, time to actually build something up, but they never bothered, shift gears. So I must say that even though it's not a horrible album, it's really mediocre one. Curse of Conception is cursed. It's something I cannot recommend to you unless you're a very positive, very optimistic doom heavy metal guy who just like, I will listen to them all because I will like them on everything because no matter nobody else says they're the best thing in the world. Yes. Well, unless you're one of those guys, skip it. So, thanks for watching, and hoping to get your comments and likes and dislikes. See you soon again. Boom.